Before we begin, parents, if you're looking for peaceful, faith-filled bedtime stories your children will ask for every night, you're in the right place. Subscribe and make this your nightly routine. What if your own brothers turned against you? What if the people closest to you hurt you the most? Would you stay angry or choose something unexpected? Tonight, we hear the story of a boy named Joseph, and his story is not what it seems. Long ago, in a quiet land filled with rolling hills and soft fields, lived a young boy named Joseph. Joseph was kind, Joseph was thoughtful, and Joseph was deeply loved by his father. Joseph, his father would say with a smile, "You are very special to me." But Joseph was not the only son. He had many older brothers, and slowly, something began to grow inside their hearts. Can you guess what it was? Jealousy. One day, Joseph's father gave him a beautiful coat. It shimmered with many colors, soft reds, deep blues, golden yellows. His brothers stared. "That coat," one muttered. "Why does he get something so special?" Joseph smiled, not knowing what was building. But that night, something strange happened. Joseph had a dream. "I saw something amazing," Joseph said the next morning. His brothers looked at him. "What did you see?" they asked. "In my dream, we were all in a field, tying bundles of grain." Joseph paused, and suddenly, my bundle stood up tall. His brothers leaned closer, and yours bowed down to mine. Silence. Then one brother snapped. "So you think you will rule over us?" Joseph blinked. "I'm just telling you the dream." But the jealousy grew stronger. Another night, another dream. "I saw the sun, the moon, and 11 stars," Joseph said softly. "They were all bowing down to me." Even his father was surprised, but his brothers, they were furious. "Enough," one whispered. "He thinks he's better than us." Time passed, and one day, Joseph's father said, "Go check on your brothers in the fields." Joseph put on his colorful coat, and he went. But far away, his brothers saw him coming. "There he is," one said, "the dreamer." Another whispered something dark. "What if we get rid of him?" Children, what do you think they were planning? Was it kind? No. As Joseph got closer, smiling, unaware, they grabbed him. "Wait, what are you doing?" Joseph cried. They pulled off his beautiful coat. They threw him into a deep, empty pit. Joseph looked up. "Brothers, please." But they turned away. For a moment, they sat in silence. Then, something even worse happened. A group of travelers passed by. "Let's sell him," one brother said. "Sell me?" Joseph whispered. And just like that, they traded him away. Joseph was taken far, far from home. Can you imagine how Joseph felt? Alone, scared, confused. "God, are you still with me?" Joseph whispered. Joseph was taken to Egypt, a big, busy land with tall buildings and crowded streets. He worked hard, he stayed kind, and even when life was unfair, Joseph did not give up. Years passed. Joseph faced many hard things, things that didn't make sense, things that felt unfair. But every time, God was still with him. One day, something amazing happened. The king of Egypt had troubling dreams. No one could understand them, until someone said, "There is a man named Joseph." Joseph stood before the king. "I believe God can help explain your dream," Joseph said calmly. And he did. The king was amazed. "From now on," the king said, "you will help lead this land." Joseph blinked. From a pit to a palace. Only God could do that. But the story is not over yet. Not even close. Years later, a great famine came. There was no food in many lands. And far away, Joseph's brothers were hungry. "Go to Egypt," their father said. "Maybe you will find food there." So they went, not knowing who they would meet. They stood before a powerful ruler. "Please," they said, bowing low, "we need food." Joseph looked at them. His heart skipped. Do you know who it was? It was his brothers. But they didn't recognize him. Joseph felt many things at once. Pain, memory, love. He could have been angry. He could have said, "Now it's my turn to hurt you." But instead, Joseph paused. "Children, what would you do? Would you forgive or stay angry?" Joseph spoke gently. "I am your brother, Joseph." They froze. It can't be." But it was. They trembled. "We are so sorry," they said. Joseph stepped closer, and then he did something unexpected. He smiled. "Do not be afraid," he said. "What you meant for harm, God used for good." He hugged them, he forgave them, and their family was brought back together again. Joseph looked up quietly. "God, you were always with me, even in the pit, even in the pain, even in the waiting. And you know what? God is with you too. When things feel unfair, when people hurt your feelings, when you feel alone, God is still writing your story. So tonight, as you close your eyes, remember Joseph, remember his courage, remember his forgiveness, and remember, God always has a plan. If you enjoyed this peaceful story, make it part of your nightly routine. Subscribe to SparrowSprout Bible Stories for more calm, faith-filled bedtime stories. Close your eyes, rest your heart, and sleep in God's peace.